The 2026 mandate. Why workflow compliance is the secret to scaling regulated AI. In the rapid evolution of financial services, healthcare, and insurance, the year 2026 has brought a definitive shift in the regulatory landscape. We have moved past the era of AI experimentation and entered the era of agentic accountability. As AI agents move from merely answering questions to executing high-stakes transactions, the industry's focus has sharpened on one critical non-negotiable requirement: workflow compliance. For any enterprise operating under the scrutiny of the CFPB, HIPAA, or the newly minted EU AI Act, the ability to prove that an automated process followed every legal gate is the only thing standing between innovation and a catastrophic fine. The architecture of trust. What is workflow compliance? Workflow compliance is the structural enforcement of regulatory and business rules within an automated sequence. In a manual world, compliance relied on a human employee remembering to check an ID or read a disclosure. In the world of agentic AI, workflow compliance ensures that the AI cannot hallucinate its way around these requirements. It is the difference between an AI that says, "I've updated your address," and a system that forces a deterministic execution, triggering a biometric scan, verifying a document, and logging a time-stamped consent before a single database record is changed. The 3 pillars of compliant execution. To achieve true workflow compliance in 2026, organizations must move away from monolithic AI agents and toward a tiered architecture that separates conversation from execution. Deterministic gating. The system must include hard gates that cannot be bypassed by conversational shortcuts. If a process requires an AML check, the workflow must be programmed to fail deadly if that check returns anything other than a pass. Identity attribution. Every step in a digital journey must be tied to a verified identity. Anonymous intent is a liability. Authenticated execution is an asset. Immutable auditing. The why is as important as the what. Regulators now demand a reconstruction of the entire journey. Workflow compliance is only as good as the audit trail it leaves behind, proving exactly what the customer saw and when they agreed to it. Why 2026 is the year of the execution governor. We recently explored the technical risks of unmanaged AI in our deep dive on AI risk automation and the ownership gap. The central takeaway is that automation doesn't remove the need for oversight. It simply changes the nature of that oversight. By implementing a governor layer, enterprises can achieve workflow compliance at scale. This layer acts as a policy enforcement engine that sits between the customer-facing AI and the core systems of record. When the AI identifies a regulated intent, such as a wire transfer or a medical record release, the governor intercepts the request and handles the last mile of execution through a hardened, pre-approved digital journey. The economic impact of compliant workflows. Beyond avoiding the $4 billion in annual fines currently plaguing the banking sector, mastering workflow compliance is a massive driver of ROI. Eliminating redundant checks. When compliance is baked into the workflow, false positives in AML and fraud detection drop by up to 40%, as data is verified at the point of entry. Accelerating onboarding. Traditional manual KYC can take days. A compliant automated workflow takes minutes, resulting in a documented 35% increase in account opening conversions for top-tier banks. Audit readiness. With automated logging, the 12-week audit preparation becomes a 48-hour data export. Final thoughts. Compliance as a competitive edge. In 2026, the companies that will lead their respective industries are those that view workflow compliance not as a hurdle, but as a foundation. By automating the boring parts of regulation, the gates, the checks, and the logs, you free your human experts to focus on complex fraud investigations and high-value advisory roles. The mandate for the modern C-suite is clear. Use AI to understand your customer's intent, but use a deterministic, completion and compliance layer to ensure your workflow.